100 FM The Pike in Boston at 8:33. Welcome to the Pike Studios, the new head coach of your Worcester Railers, Bob Deraney. Bob, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me
for coming in. I appreciate it, man. Bob, not new to the area at all. This isn't some new guy coming in. You've been with the Railers for how long? And you've been the assistant coach for what, one season or two? Was it 2 seasons?
For 1 season full time, but I've been helping out for the last 6 years, not counting the COVID year.
And then you were with Worcester State Hockey
for 2 years,
right? And then you were with the Providence Women's for
19 seasons.
Yeah, and those are very successful seasons.
They were it was great. It was a wonderful experience.
So and you grew up in West Roxbury. You went to BU, so you're not like new to the area.
No.
You know how massholes think and how seriously they take their sports.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's amazing that I've been able to coach for 35 years and not leave the state. I've left the country every now and then, to follow my dream of coaching the game of hockey. But I've never had to leave the state. And to be the head coach of the Worcester Railers is I've said it before and I'm not afraid to say it again. It's a dream come true. We all aspire. I talk about dreaming all the time. Why can't a 59-year-old guy dream?
Yeah,
and
it should never stop.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I say a dream that is made into reality is when greatness is achieved. And I have the opportunity here to do something really special with a tremendous group of men and a wonderful organization. And I couldn't be luckier.
And then just to round out your background, you like a lot of players, coaches, any athlete really. You've traveled the world. You were coaching in South Africa. Was that the Olympic team?
Their national team.
The
men's national team.
Okay.
And their national team is at the Division III level.
Okay.
But what a wonderful experience that we did that in Bulgaria, was where the World Championships were. I went over and coached in China in their women's professional league that was up in Canada. I had the opportunity to coach very briefly in the KHL with their men's team. The IHF had me work with their development program, 41 emerging countries playing hockey, mentoring their coaches and their players. So hockey's been really good to me. It's allowed me to see the world, but it's also helped me to grow my craft.
Yeah. And now you're here. You're in Worcester. You're the head coach. Now you're part of a different setup for the Railers. It was usually in the past it was coach / GM. Yeah. But now you are just, I don't want to say just, but you're just handling the coaching duty. Yeah. And there's a new GM that is coming in.
I bet you're happy to say just.
It was an interesting setup, and I have to give Jordan LaValle-Smotherman all the credit in the world as he moves on to a great opportunity in Austria. Going out, he had suggested to Mike Myers and the organization that they'd seriously look into breaking up the position, because the way it was an imbalanced power, in that you had a head coach GM that was basically drinking out of a fire hose every day, and you had this assistant trying to figure out how they could help out. And so Mike thought about it, and to his credit, we're trying to do something different. And I don't think it's something different. I think it's going to become best practice in the East Coast Hockey League, where we've hired Nick Tuzzolino to be our general manager and associate coach, and his major responsibility is about player personnel and making sure every day we have the best players in our organization to help us win a championship. Conversely, my job and my priority is to make sure every day I'm creating an environment where our players can be the very best they can individually and collectively as a team. So now we got a master of both instead of a jack of all trade.
So 2 points I want to make. First of all, welcome. And second, that's not the point. Every player that I've spoken to over the past few years has amazing things to say about you. They love playing for you, even though you weren't the head coach. They just love being around you, and they say you're just an amazing mind, hockey mind, and a great guy to be around. That being said, I feel that the Worcester Railers hockey team had an amazing group of individuals, talented guys, good men. How do you take these guys now, a lot of the same guys coming back, and gel them into a team? Because the players know how to play. You have to now take a group of guys and form them into a team to win a championship. What's the plan?
First of all, thank you very much for recognizing what a tremendous group of young men we have, and their goal is to bring a championship to Worcester. We had a group of guys. It's always about trying to upgrade, right? And Nick's working really hard right now behind the scenes, as am I, trying to take that core group that we plan on bringing back that's very talented and cohesive, and supplement them with additional talent in order to create an even better team, a better product on the ice. And, you asked about, how can we be better? The difference between the NHLer and the American Leaguer is mind speed. It's not talent. The difference between the American League and the East Coast Hockey League isn't talent. It's mind speed.
It's a faster game.
It's processing information. And so that you ask, how can we do that? I think that's why a lot of our guys want to come back, is because they could see themselves getting better. And I have to say something, and I don't know if this is going to be accepted or not accepted well, but I look at the end of the season differently than a lot of people. A lot of people think that how could they miss the playoffs again? I look at it as it's amazing that we were still in control of our own destiny on the last day of the season, considering we lost both our goalies. Mm-hmm. Throughout the season, we lost Anthony Rapace for the beginning of the season and the end of the season. We lost our first and second defensemen, but yet still at the end of the year, we were playing for the playoffs.
To be in it.
That's exciting. Right. But the start that we had in 22-23, that's the goal, is to get a start like that and have a finish like we had last year. And so we see what we need to do. We see the roadmap, and we're putting together a team that's going to be able to take us to where we want to get to because we have the plan in place.
But let me ask something, and please, again, I don't know how you're going to take this. It's kind of like you preface that, but isn't that kind of the nature of minor league hockey or minor league sports in general, is that players are going to, it's constantly moving. They're moving up, they're moving down, and then you add in the injuries and things like that. Is it wrong to say, like, the fan shouldn't really expect something? I'm going to pull a John Henry here and say the fan shouldn't really expect too much because it's a constantly changing environment.
No, I think the fans have the right to expect a lot. I expect a lot of ourselves. I mean, no one could put more pressure on myself or our team than we do on ourselves. We're heartbroken when we don't perform for our team, especially our fans, especially at home. I mean, they deserve, I say, you win on the road, you put on a show at home. And that's what I believe. And every day we're going to chase perfection. I know that's Vince Lombardi, okay?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, because and what he says there is, we're going to relentlessly pursue perfection, knowing full well nothing is perfect. But if we relentlessly pursue perfection, we may just catch excellence. And Bill Belichick says practice execution is game day reality. So every day we're going to come to work with the expectation of perfection. Because if you can't do it in practice, why are you going to expect to do it in a game? Mm-hmm. And we talk about, I love these guys. And I'm not afraid to use the word love. Because hockey's more than a game to me. It's a way of life. And it tests you every day. And so as much as people think we're showing up to play hockey every day, we're on a self-odyssey. How great can we really be? Individually, but more importantly, collectively as a group. And as kind of the conductor, my job is to put that orchestra together. And we're getting guys that want, have the same vision. I think that's why, you were so nice to mention about the guys, and how excited they are and stuff. Because every day they come to the rink, they're just not playing hockey. They're challenging themselves every day. How great can we really be?
Right. I am so fired up right now. I don't know about you guys.
Same.
I'm ready to go out there. And you need me to play? I can't even skate. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do anything for you right now.
They just lifted the Stanley Cup. Let's drop the puck. Let's go.
We're crying out loud. Speak a little bit about Nick Tezzolino. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I've been practicing, and it's, I'm usually not good at that. But he's coming in he was with Savannah. And then he is from Buffalo, and he came in with the Islanders organization, Adam. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. And have you, as someone who's grown up here, who's been here most of your life, prepared him for the attitude he's going to get?
We hired him because he has
fans and stuff.
We hired him because he has that attitude.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
And that's a great question. And again, Mike was in charge of the hiring process. And once it got whittled down to the 3 finalists, he asked me to be a part of it, which was a privilege to be asked to be a part of the hiring process. And we had 3 great candidates. And Nick just separated himself apart from the other 2. And it's small things, but one, he's a defenseman. We took we had one of the best D-corps in the entire East Coast Hockey League last year. And here's a guy that works with American League and NHL defensemen during the summer developing. He's going to take that D-corps to another level. He's got over 400 games in the East Coast Hockey League. He has connections. He has everything we wanted and a competitive fire and drive just like myself and the guys we plan on bringing back. So he fit perfectly for the person that we were looking for to complement me and the role.
And he grew up going to Buffalo Bills games, so he has an attitude.
Well, I don't know if that's the right attitude.
Just saying.
Is he going to be jumping on any burning tables or anything out in the parking lot?
The first thing I thought of, too,
right?
Bills Mafia.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He got the Mafia look, though. Wait till you see him. Italian guy, got the hair going.
I hope he wasn't listening to what I said earlier then.
He's going to fit in perfectly in Worcester. He's got a beautiful family. He's a family guy. He's got all the values that you want your organization to have. And so it's a great fit, and we're working really hard, and we're excited. We haven't even we've met each other over Zoom, but not personally. And I can't tell you, talk about being fired up, Adam. I'm fired up.
That's
nice,
awesome.
Nice. Bob Deraney, new head coach of your Worcester Railers, here in the studio with us. Before you go, did you watch the game last night, Panthers? And that one of the best hockey games I've ever seen.
The theater was unbelievable. First of all, go back to the other night in Edmonton. And to hear the crowd sing the national anthem, there was no way that the Panthers were going to win that game. They weren't playing against the Oilers; they were playing against all of Canada that night. And then to watch, basically last night the way it unfolded, I just, the Panthers scored the first goal, but then Edmonton answers right away.
Yeah.
And we were talking about earlier, they're human beings, and I just think so much energy was expended to get back. They're basically dead. The Oilers were dead. So to rise from the dead, and then they just ran out of gas. But what an effort to come back and make it such great theater.
I mentioned earlier I thought Paul Maurice should be commissioner of the NHL, and you kind of gave me a look. What's your opinion?
Yeah,
on that?
the thing about it is, as a head coach, you just have to worry about your team. As a commissioner, you got to worry about everybody. So I don't think he'd want to be the commissioner, but I think he'd do a great job. And it just shows your perseverance and patience pays off. I mean, congratulations to him. He's earned it. And so did the Panthers after all the heartbreak. And people don't understand that too. One that we go back, I'm sorry to bring it back to the Railers, but
well, that's why you're here.
Yeah, that's why you're here, man. Don't be sorry. Yeah, we'll talk Railers. Yeah.
One of the other main reasons why we're bringing back a core group. I mean, look at the Celtics. How much heartache did they have? It's that desire, that additional desire because of all the heartbreak to not let it happen again. Think about all the heartbreak that the Florida Panthers have had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a long time.
Those intrinsic values of not letting it happen again, having been there and fallen short, that's what puts you over the top.
Railers fans are ready.
And that's exactly. And so are the Railers players that we're bringing back.
And you are.
We're not starting from ground zero.
Right.
Exactly. We've got history here that we don't want to repeat. And we've just seen with the Panthers and we've seen with the Celtics. That's a really important thing.
Just to be clear, the public address announcer gets a ring, correct?
Everybody gets a ring.
Just making sure.
Oh, I shouldn't say
really?
that. That's up to Mike and
Really?
Cliff. Okay.
Just making sure.
I can't spend other people's money.
Just making sure.
What about a two-time loser of the pie eating contest? Does he get a ring? No?
I think we have to cut it somewhere.
All right, Bob Deraney, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks
he
for
is your
having
new
me.
head coach of your Worcester Railers, and the season starts October
20th.
20th?
19th.
October 19th. Yeah, you were going to miss a night, weren't you?
I always get there
Where
a
the
day
heck's
early
Adam?
anyway. I always get there a day early.
So October 19th, go to railershc.com, and tickets available? Tickets are available at railershc.com. Bob, thank you so much.
Thanks
nice
for
meeting
having me.
you. Hope we can have you in the studio again.
Anytime you want.
Sometime in the near future. Maybe, because closer we get to the season. It'd be great to see how you're doing.
Anytime you want.
All
I'll
right,
be here.
awesome. That's Bob Deraney. Thank you.